Hello, this is Kim with Standing on Solid Ground. I am your host of this motivational and inspirational podcast. And today's word of the day, countenance. Countenance is defined as a person's face or facial expression. And if we also go to the definition as far as the biblical, the divine countenance is the face of God. The concept has special significance in the Abrahamic religions. And then, if we also go to another definition biblically, countenance is another word for face, or more specifically, visage, meaning facial expression. It is the expression appearing on a face of the Lord, on the face of the Lord as he looks upon his people. The phrase is most well known for its use in Aaron's blessings, also called the Aaronic blessing, in Numbers 6:24 through 26. Now, I found it very interesting because if we think back in Cain and Abel's time, when they were giving their offerings unto the Lord, Cain had a countenance or a frown or a look or expression on his face because he was displeased that God did not accept his offering. And when we think about all of these things, the countenance or the facial expressions is very well known in the Word of God, where it was describing of many times where, facial expressions were used to show a displeasement or being displeased or being unhappy or distaste of one thing or another. Now, if we go through the Word of God, I'm sure that it will let us know just how many times, as many scriptures that use this word to describe one's feelings. If we go to Song of Solomon 2:14, O my dove, thou art in the clefts of the rock and in the secret places of the stairs. Let me see thy countenance, okay, your face. Let me hear thy voice, for sweet is thy voice, and thy countenance is comely, meaning she was beautiful to look upon. If we look at Judges 13:6, then the woman came and told her husband, saying, a man of God came unto me, and his countenance, his face, his expression was like the countenance of an angel of God, very terrible. But I asked him not whence he was, neither told he me his name. Meaning, I didn't ask who he was, or I never knew his name. But the countenance of an angel, meaning the looks of an angel, I don't know what they consider an angel. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what exactly, because she said very terrible. Now, I don't believe that that definition of terrible was like an awful look. I believe it was terror. That is their description of terrible. It was terrifying. It was scary in a way of I did not need to be in their presence. I was feeling very ashamed of myself or very belittling because this greatness came about, that it was terrifying. And I believe that that is what that means. Not so much terrible as an awful look, but terrible as in a way of terror, being scared or frightening to look upon. Exodus 23:3. Neither shalt thou countenance a poor man in his cause. Okay, now this is another, the facial, or look down on a person. Your facial expression. Have you ever seen someone look at you from head to toe and have this snare look on, like they like, who are you and why are you looking like that? And that kind of expression. We should not look down on a poor person in his cause, meaning that we shouldn't have this nasty look on our face. So continence can have many different variety of meaning. A beautiful look, a face of an angel, or meaning very terrible or very terrifying, or looking down at a person with a snarl. So God was actually using emoji faces way before emojis even came about, because they have different meanings, but it still refers to the facial expression of a person. So the word of today is continence. And again, it is defined as a person's face or facial expressions. This is Kim with Standing on Solid Ground. You have yourself a wonderful and blessed day.